let's go from there. Lord, just bless our time. Thank you for your Elijah's heart. I see that such wonderful change in your inner man, the way how you carry yourself. So it's amazing. See the changes happening. I know that you're growing tremendously, Elijah. So look at the past year or so. The transformation happening in your life is so encouraging, and a lot of inner growth. So a lot of self-discipline implied, wise discipline. So a lot of awareness, what God doing in your life, awareness of relational dynamic. So those are those are worth to think about it and evaluate and continue to grow in it. But to the world, to useful culture of the day, so it's almost like too much to think about it. So I'm so glad you don't think along those terms anymore. So those are a little bit superficial and wisdom from life, and right. So time should learn how relation with God, relation with one another, especially close ones, right? Meaningful ones. So being fluffy with it, be flippant on it, or not really engaging in substantial ways, I think that's a waste of life. So, and to the contrary, I think you should be disciplined, should be more solid, more weighted, not overburden or cancel out your useful energy and aspirations, rather to the opposite. Right? So rather than put some roots down, put some foundation down, so, and broaden your way, heighten your awareness of what is important, what is not important. So so that obviously were beautiful taking place in your heart. It's amazing, Thomas. So a year ago you're pretty standard. Almost. Right now you very much knowing where you're going, and not someone in particulars. And we're much rooted, or at least want to put roots down firmly, solidly in major relation, which is why we spend time here making some too. So but that's my encouragement, and my encouragement in my observation of some serious transformation happened. They're not small ones. We're life changing ones. So, and the effect and the productivity will be for the rest of your life, and to reap the benefit of those things. Make sense to you? So. So that being said, why not you pray, and let's start. Want to hear what God doing in your life. Have questions or meaningful conversation want to carry out. So and let you guide us into those things. Okay, so go ahead.
Yes, Lord. Lord, I pray you bless this time. Lord, I pray for, Lord, your wisdom and your understanding to be here with us. Lord, as we discuss spiritual life, Lord, and things concerning, Lord, your work in our lives. Lord, I thank you for your work. I thank you for your hand in my life. Lord, I thank you for your love, your mercy, and your righteous judgment. Lord, I pray that I would truly recognize your voice as my shepherd, Lord, as my father, as my king, and that I would continue to hear from you, Lord, because I'm in a time I desperately need, Lord, to hear your voice and to understand your voice. So just, Lord, I pray again, bless this meeting and the other meetings. Be here with us in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name. Amen. Go ahead.
Well, Sorry. Tie my shoe real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of...
Remind me move around so I can keep my feet up a little bit, relax. So, yeah. Sorry.
Good.
There we go. I like to get my back suited better a little bit.
Yeah.
There we go. You can do the same. Yeah. Yeah.
I think like I said in the car earlier, I've just been in a time of a lot of deep thought. I've been thinking about a lot of things that were talked about last Friday, and yeah, me and Dad talked about it yesterday too.
Last Friday, what's the topic? You mind to remind me a little bit?
Well, I told you about my vision
Yes,
of us building the
about
house.
building the house. Yeah.
I told you about God's voice, about telling me about some things that I
supposed to go to China.
might do. Yeah. And I don't know, I've just been thinking about that a lot, and I've been asking the Lord for some more understanding of that.
Yeah. Let not me interrupt your flute. So I tried it on my side, getting some context so I understand where it came from. You said you talked to your dad a bit, yeah.
Talked to my dad yesterday about these things.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yesterday more concerning is not a word. We talked more about if I was to go somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And he has rightful concerns about
Sure.
You said stuff about, you said things like, for me personally, I like saying it as if you're me, I don't know, if God would have me go there for a short amount of time, it could be a permanent thing as well. I don't know. Yeah. All he's saying is I don't know exactly what God has for me in that context.
Yeah.
But basically to say that I don't really need to be focusing on what exactly I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I just need to focus on really just my personal relationship with God right now, and those things will manifest.
Yeah.
But at the same time, those things are still in my mind.
Sure. Yeah.
I still think about everything that goes into that. And, we talked about that vision I had. Remember that vision where I saw my son and...
Oh, the lady.
Yeah. And we talked about that because Dad was saying stuff. Dad said something about you got to think about what if you had a family at that time, or maybe you don't have a family at all. And then I was like, well, I think the Lord has sealed some of those things.
Sure.
Obviously I don't know who the person is.
Yeah.
Which is what we talked about that as well, because
that can be a shocker to your dad. Did you think about it?
Yeah, I think it was even a kind of a shocker to him yesterday. I don't know if it had. He may have forgotten about it, but I don't know if it fully settled with him when I first told him. But
well, how could anybody settle with it?
Yeah, I haven't even.
You're only 17 years old.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to say, hey, tomorrow you're going to go. That's not a picture, obviously. So.
And that's what he had said the other night. You could leave in 2 weeks, or you could leave in 3 years, or a decade.
Yeah.
It's not. That's the thing. I don't need to focus on what I'm going to do.
That's right.
When I'm going to leave. I need to focus on the now and what God's doing right now and what I can do right now.
Yes.
Each second, each minute.
Yes.
And I do think about those things, and I really have started to think about a lot of things concerning my life in the Lord right now. In the context of especially when we gather together, I really just want to be a part. I want to be a piece inside whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
I want to say something. I want to
share.
Yeah. Wednesday, yesterday, day before yesterday, we had prayer and worship time, and I'd shared a little bit about that, kind of just about like, God wants us to share. It helps us grow as a people, and sharing testimonies and things.
Sure.
I don't know. I personally found it super encouraging when
Yeah, sure.
person amongst us gives a testimony.
Like a match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even something like that, or just like
what kind of testimony you talking about? Others?
Yeah, or maybe just or maybe not even like I guess you wouldn't call all that a testimony. Maybe just like
Sharing
things that are going on in your life in the Lord, and maybe something God revealed to you.
Yeah.
And I've seen it even just in my relationships. I've been trying to put that in each one of my relationships. I've seen it in me and Benji's a lot. We obviously, we're young and we talk about, just things in life, but I've really been trying to
guide a spiritual conversation.
Have a spiritual conversation every time I see him. And it has. It's become natural at this point for me and Benji to ask what's going on in our life in the Lord. And I don't feel like I feel like I should ask this because it's like a requirement. No, it's I think it's a part of our relationship together now.
Sure,
That those things, our lives really matter to each other in that way, and that's really...
It's very important to have some friend like that, so it's blessings.
Amen.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to intersect that within me and Isaac's relationship too. It's been a little more... difficult's not the right word because it's not, but he's a little more standoffish to those things, and I see that, so I don't...
But he is so changed, man.
He is. That is true.
Smile there, used to be he don't have any smile on his face. Right now he can't stop smiling.
I do see that. I do see his change, and it's very
Confidence
good.
Confidence change,
When it comes to a spiritual conversation, he doesn't have much to say, which I don't obviously push him or anything.
Sure,
I asked him the other day, what's... You ever thought about sharing at Wednesday, or...
Oh, yeah.
Does God really have some... I asked him if God had anything on his heart, and he said he doesn't really know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't really think he knows what to say.
Yeah.
Which is
more
understandable.
More shy thing, I think.
Not used to a conversation like that.
Yeah.
So I think I'll try to have more conversations like that, and not because I'm trying to get something out of them, obviously, but I just...
Yeah, it's good to squeeze some... like a squeeze the toothpaste in my squeeze. I squeeze you all the time. So once you get used to it.
And I like being squeezed now.
I'm joking. So teasing you. So. It's good to squeeze a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a part of relationship natural. Some part of relationship requires some efforts to build the protocols. So actually this conversation with Justin as well last night. You want to be a spiritual person, you got to carry out the spiritual conversations. So that's part of it, the deal. So, then treat it with natural. It's part of my life. So there's nothing wrong about it. If you treasure something like as Isaac or you maybe like music, you can naturally will talk about music.
Yeah.
You don't even agree each other's music style or artists, but you don't get offended about it, right? So because it's something you love, you have passion about it. So I think it's a similar thing with the spiritual things, so especially some of the music passion, whatever. It's just like other, I don't understand, you have a spiritual passion as well. And topics, you don't have to always agree, but at least while you share what a movie you like, which I don't even want to see the movie, but I allow you to share what you love that movie about it, and at least I show the courtesy to be interested with, so.
Yeah, and I've seen in Isaac, as you were saying, it changed, like, he's come to seem to take, especially, for example, like the group gatherings we have, I think he really takes those in priority.
Yeah.
And I see that.
Yeah.
he really takes Wednesday time in priority. He takes Tuesday
Very
nights.
seriously. Very seriously.
He listens into whole Tuesday meetings.
Yeah.
I don't know. Isaac is very loyal and dedicated.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I can see that in him. I think there's obviously still a lot of.
I mean, you came to this stage, this understanding where you are. How many years come around? 5 years. I mean, as you grew up, you got accustomed to these things, right?
Right.
So it's familiar to you.
Mm-hmm.
Even me uncomfortable, struggle.
And yeah, that's what I thought. It's not to him.
But it's
Not
absolutely absent to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he don't know how to even think about those things yet. So,
Mm-hmm.
so naturally he don't. I think it's hard to humble and purity to want to step in something he feels very important and meaningful to his life.
Yeah.
And that's respectful actually.
Mm-hmm.
So respect to God, also to relationship.
Mm-hmm. And I think he definitely knows there's importance. I think he's still finding out like the important things about it.
Yeah, found his footing, found his contest. You know, so that's where you come in the friendships. And okay, do you have questions? It's a contest. Then not acting on it, but just let God use you, frees you.
Yeah.
Then it will naturally. Oh, Elijah is doing that in his age. I'm his peer, I want to know what he's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
He will naturally begin to ask you questions, right? Mm-hmm. So, what that means, what's going on with that, So, if not, then probably a little bit because you see the interest there, right? Mm-hmm. It's not that I don't care, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Then you can see, there's a curiosity, but the shyness. I don't know whether that's a good topic to talk about, So then you can build the convention or the contest. Say, hey, we can discuss these things stuff, So I'm available. You care to discuss about it, So.
And it's definitely leading there. Our relationship is. Yeah. Because I feel like past few times we've been together, we've really gotten depth and talked about life.
Nice.
So I think that's really good.
Yeah.
Me and Isaac's relationship before they moved here was very surface level.
Hobby.
Yeah. Actually, well, a little before they moved here, about a year before they moved here, I think something kind of I forget, it was one of the major changing points in my life, and and Dad was talking about me and changing relationships. It was at that time where me and Isaac started talking more, and we started calling weekly just to like make our relationship
stabilize,
more real.
Yeah.
I remember that. I think that's when me and Isaac really started to know each other.
Yeah, he's a very wise young man.
Yeah.
Men through a lot for sure, but it's also very wise, so
he is. He's
very thoughtful.
Very sensitive as well.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that is. I don't think he sees his sensitivity as a good thing though. But I think he will in time.
Yeah, it's required a healthy environment for those who be nurtured and embraced. Yeah, we're getting there, so.
Yeah, I see a lot of growth in each one of their kids.
Is that right?
Yeah, each one. Even Jaden, when they moved here, I don't know. I really started to. Before moving here, I didn't really know Jaden hardly at all.
Yeah, he's too old.
Yeah,
a little bit older.
I mean, but now
we're
we're really good friends. I feel like me and Jaden are.
Yeah.
That's encouraging to me because I like. We have a lot of similarities, surprisingly. Me and Jaden.
Is that right?
Yeah,
okay.
But I think. Yeah, I don't really know how to read into his head. I don't really know how to do that to anyone, but I don't really know what he thinks about everything with moving here and being with us. And, yeah.
There's a topic that maybe require time to get to each other, So,
I don't even know why I've been going on this topic right now.
It's okay. Yeah.
Anyways,
you just wanted to have a spiritual relation with the ones around you.
Yeah.
And that's what you're talking about. to more active in spiritual fellowship stuff like that. So you were talking to share testimonies. That's where it came
Yeah,
from. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
relationships around.
So what happened on with Wednesday night worship? You shared a little bit.
I had just shared. It was kind of I was praying and it kind of turned into me sharing something at the same time.
Yeah.
Basically, I was just like I said before that I was just sharing that like basically sharing your things that God's doing in your life is so joyous not only to God but everyone else around to hear what's God's doing in your life. Not only encourage them to say what's going on in theirs, but it just encourages everyone to see what the Lord is doing.
Bless the Lord. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
A catalyst for many things. I think in a young generation, they're pretty shy, don't talk about it. You know, so sometimes I think it's our fault. We take over the conversation too much.
Yeah.
You know, so,
when it's quiet and someone asks someone to pray, I always feel like everyone's expecting me to.
Oh, is that right?
Not because they are. It's just like the way. I mean, anyone feels like that.
Yeah.
If anyone's not, you always feel like you're the one responsible. When nobody's saying something.
Absolutely. That's good.
Not even just praying. It's just like in any circumstance. Like even in school, when someone asks to answer the question.
Oh yeah.
I always feel under pressure to say something, and I want to.
That's good.
And I want to every time. It just and I don't because I don't want to like say everything every time.
You know, really, in school, in certain setting, you just don't do it on the peer pressure, or not careless about how everybody responds, but the joy is in the subject.
Yeah.
The joy is in the relationship time. So one of that's some part of the useful culture or culture of the day oftentimes condition us, you know, like had to be somebody, you know, thinking about what I think about you. I think that's where we're very stuck to live your life.
Yeah.
I mean, dogma is ruthless or implied, inconsiderate. I'm talking about it. We should not let those things dictate to us who we are, how we express ourselves, how we relate to people.
Yeah,
so.
And those things really used to burden me about what other people thought.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those and my dad definitely lifted me out of that because.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I mean, me and Dad are almost the same person.
Yeah.
Especially growing up, we're both. I mean, I used to care about me being small and short, and it used to. It used to aggravate me. I wanted to be tall and big.
Yeah. Well, everybody goes through a phase.
Yeah. And I think that that's when I really started to look within and not outer of anyone.
Yeah.
And that's just such a interesting thing. How to not just look on the outside but on the inside.
Yeah. It's there's always two ways to live life. Live for others or live for yourself. That's not selfish, okay? So the true self I'm talking about.
Right.
So it's hard to find the true self unless it's very hard to live yourself unless you know your true self.
Mm-hmm.
So, and how you know your true self, you gotta have to set others' opinions to impact others on this next level. It doesn't mean it's careless about it. I don't care, you know, certain people, you know, antisocial, whatever, be acting weird, you know, so, but that's not healthy either, because everybody is not island to themselves, you know, those relations matters and important, and, but you have to know who you are.
Yep.
You can't know who you are because all the time. It's a growing experience. But at least the basis of life, for example, I love poetry. I don't want anybody to tell me I don't love poetry. I don't want anybody to take issue if they do. I don't care. At that point, I can see without bitterness or sense of victim or sense of retaliation, whatever the word, agitation said. You don't love the fact that I love poetry. It doesn't matter to me. It means I don't care that. But that's not a defined or radical or rejection about people or feel rejected. It's just literally that's like in the balance, right?
Yeah.
You don't have any weight on my balance. I'm not gonna calculate that into my life. And no weight. Like air, am I? I'm gonna pick on that fight. I don't have that weight on my concerns or sensitivities or attention or my joy to love poetry, continue to love poetry. Why should I get frustrated by someone who don't even know me, don't care about me, don't really appreciate the passion, the best part of me in a sense, because I love something and part of my passion. Isn't my
there's
point.
no reason to care. If
why should I care?
Yeah.
It's especially if my father. It's difficult now. If my father don't agree with your passion, what do you do? You can define it, you can read it, but eventually you're gonna decide that my father made a wrong judgment on this matter.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm gonna disown my father, I'm gonna rebel against my father.
Right.
No, I'm going to try to work out a balanced way, an understanding way. Let him know, even he don't approve my love of poetry, but I still going to continue to pursue the love of poetry. He need to respect that, which a wise father always do. Unless abusive father, right? An overbearing father, make sense to you? So. I understand. Also, I need to understand my father may don't like poetry for a good reason.
Yeah.
You know
why?
Why? I want to understand that. I want to balance that in my consideration. Hear him out. That's my point.
Maybe
like
it'll change my opinion.
Rather than having emotional clash, personality clash. I want to put that before and through his counsel.
Yep.
Make sense to you? But eventually, I decided. Well, my father didn't like poetry because he never grew up with that. I grew up with a love of poetry. So if I'm going to have this joyful life to continue, but to be a poet or not, that's a serious matter. I want to hear my father, right? So make sense to you? He may not prove to be a poet, but since God or life, whatever, my passion really want to be a poet. Well, I had to choose my career. I had chosen what I do, right? So make sense to you? So unfortunately, like artists, poetry, those kind of characters or shit, it's often the common norm.
Yeah. You
see my point? So musician, a painter, a poet, it does make sense to common life. So if a father or mother carry a common denomination, they not understand life a poet look like or artists look like. This is my point. So that's need to be thoroughly considered. Maybe yes, I'm not a poet material, but if every way have proved you are more than poet material, it's your life passion.
Yeah.
So that's a different story now. You coming about, so making sense to you. I give you extreme example. I'm not saying you be a poet, okay? Not at all. I'm just you give an example.
Yeah.
Even the intimate, honorable relationship, like a father or mother to a son, need to be evaluated. So what about the lesser people and the less important people?
Yeah.
Their opinion should deter us from what we like or not? In the end of the day, you need to know who you are, what you're about.
Yep.
So you may make decent mistakes, decent misdirections, but that's your mistake. You learn from it. Making sense to you? But I don't want to make a mistake, half-hearted mistake, or careless mistake. If I'm gonna make a mistake, I make a serious mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, not serious in the sense of terrible mistake. Talking about my heart is into something. I don't, sense my point.
Right.
I make a decent mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Making sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
So if you never put your heart into something, how you know? So my point is that you put in heart something, even it's not working out, it's still give you a life experience, you can put your heart into something. That may be a more important lesson than anything else. Succeeding. Life is not one channel, am I? One tunnel, right? So, because into so life it turns, take levels. You do one thing, maybe total failure, but you learn the tenacity, learn the experience you can apply in another endeavor. Then people said, "Oh, that you learn nothing. It's a field, everything wasted." Well, that's a foolish understanding for life. Nothing in life is wasted. Depends how you treat it. Want me to listen to you? So. But I have this picture, which is normal picture. It's about people digging wells.
Yeah.
You remember the picture? Yeah. And the water on the ground is a certain level.
No, I don't think I know the picture exactly.
You know the picture?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, let me draw it before you. Can you bring the paper to me?
Here's something.
Yeah. It's like this is the water level, am I? On the ground water, okay? So does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
And this is surface, okay? This is surface level, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody want to dig a channel or dig a well, am I right? So he started with a low place. Let's see, dig. He got it here. He give it up. Then choose another place, am I right? Dig. He give it up. Then finally determined, okay, even the highest place, I decided this kind of thing, and dig. He gave up. He walked away. With his experience said, there's no water on the ground. Everything is wasted. Now, imagine, if only dig on the shaft, right? The shaft. Only one level, he all can what? Just half of it did end to the former efforts. What are going to happen?
Would have made it.
He will make it. His whole experience will change, right? Dig the well. Make sure that for sure you understand that there is a water under the ground. Study a little bit, right? So don't mindlessly dig, so.
Yeah.
But certain people they try, then they eventually give up before they're just ready to succeed. So, and in this point, that's a very hard decision. It depends on how you push it through. So there's a life faith and called a work of faith. Man, you have faith there's water, but you don't work on it.
It's not going to get there.
It's like it doesn't matter how much work you put in there, it's not getting what you should attain on to. So in life, what the lesson learned here? If you're a wise person, what do you do?
Keep digging until you find something.
You want to first make sure there's water on the ground.
Yep.
You don't want to go ahead and dig, am I right?
Yeah.
It makes sense to you? So study whether there's water on the ground or not. So if they decided, tried different method to verify that there is indeed water on the ground, what do you do? Just dig. But why you give up? Because you don't believe there's water on the ground. That's why digging. Thinking something is gonna lock, right? Gonna cut you. But there's a lot of lesson in this picture. When you carry that picture, you think about it. So in life, there's a lot of things you can learn, Elijah. If you think about it, whether that being a career, knowledge base, whatever, or efforts. But there are things, if God give you a vision, like your passion, you bet the grace of God is waiting for you, right? He don't lie to himself unless we didn't hear God clearly. That's why don't make a rash decision on things that matter to life.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to make rash decision with a girl I'm gonna marry, right?
Yeah.
Would I do that? Yes, I'm fully passionate about it. I'm full of love, but still, I don't want to just base on that and make a decision
Based
to
on,
get
don't
married.
base it on feelings.
Exactly. I want to go through a process. I have elders, I have parents, I have God, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to go through that necessary process and to work that out. My passion for the girl, my love for the girl is only one of those decisions. It's very important. It's a major, but that's not the
the
core.
deciding factor.
Exactly. Not suppose the wrong country. God said, "This is the wife you're gonna have. Your passion is on this lady. Is a beautiful beauty or some romantic feelings, right? So that's difficult now. Are you gonna have your romantic feelings, your own passion to decide which woman to marry, or marry the one God gave to you? Very interesting question, because we often think it's just supposed to naturally converge together. Not always. I'm just talking, right? So that's going to turn our inner mind apart if we don't understand love a person, romantic feelings should not decide what? Marriage.
Yeah.
You know. So what are you talking about? Well, your life is bigger than your romantic feelings for the person. Making sense to you? You know, so that's yes, requires sacrifice. Maybe it's not sacrifice in the day. The romantic feeling can drive you to a wrong marriage.
Yep.
You never know, right? Most likely will. Making sense to you? Because that kind of hard-headed, whatever, flare of the moment, that kind of feelings doesn't last long.
Yeah.
It's not the base for long-term relationship, long-term happiness. Am I making sense to you? You know, so as intense it is, as certain as you are, but it after your young, youthful, romantic feelings. Making sense to you? You know, so that's the most shaky foundation for long-term relationship. Making sense to you? You know, so yeah, it's true, but sometimes, am I making sense to you? If we're wrong-headed, wrong-hearted, you know, so. And therefore, God said, "Okay, let me query you a little bit. Let me give you a cold head a little bit. Let me show you there's another option here. Let me want you to study, shift your gear a little bit, look at things differently, angle. We have to shift the gear, right? So, in the spiritual life, we call it take the old garments, put on the new. We easily say, yeah, I will do that. Then we said, okay, the old way of love. Always exercise your passion. Maybe this is the old self, right? It's interesting, huh? Think about it. My point is to give you some extremes. Okay, I always work at extremes, but think about the extremes. Is oftentimes a very beautiful way to practice future life. Not to rob the joy of it, rather become prudent, become prepared. I mean, what kind of general who is qualified to be a good general? He never went to the battle. He didn't think about that he's going to enter the battle. Can he win the battle? Just by luck? Just by his courage? But just because he's not where to die? What kind of general is that? Making sense to you? You have a lot of ruthless warrior to do that. That's not the general material. Yes, he needs that. And he needs to encourage that even. But that's not the general qualified general. Just because you're not free to die. Making sense to you? You're like the fight. A general needs to just think about how to win the battle. Prepared. or the old lines to encounter surprises, ambushes, all kinds of things, right? So he's thinking through over things. And not every general has to fight every battle in the world to win the battle, but he learns the art for the battle. The you understand my point? He learned, I don't know, there's actually a book called The Art of War. I think it's a good book to read. But you learn the thing I know, you may not enter the battlefield, but you learn the battle. You know how to go through the battle. Part of maturity prudence means I prepare myself for the thing to come. What maturity means? There are two kinds of maturity, okay? Maturity after experience, or maturity before experience, if you will. Or wisdom after experience, wisdom before experience. Interesting. Now do you think God want to give you wisdom after the experience only, or give you wisdom before the experience?
Before.
Yes. That's how God raises up a person, right?
Mm.
That's interesting thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
Because nobody believes somebody can be wise before he able to handle something. A track record. That's Jesus did. That was Paul did. That's what Peter did. Even though they have no formal education, they never was a leader of community. They never go out to preach to thinking they're going to be a priest for the kingdom. So, am I right? But God in somehow, in quiet place, prepared them, said, yeah, you will be this one. And agree upon it. And then yield to the discipline of thinking. And then they become of it. So when the day come, they was a ready vessel. In the Bible 49 chapter, Isaiah said, arrow hidden in the quiver. Let me ask you, if you're not an arrow, can you be hidden in the quiver? Arrow is pretty sharp, am I? So ready, am I? Anytime ready to
fire.
Yeah. I mean, do you hit in a quiver arrow not is a dull and use it or bent? Do you think God's quiver gonna fall of those arrows? Or everybody is prepared for it? But it's hidden in the quiver. And to the time, God said, hey, here's a game, here's a target, Then he use you, and I pull you down to use it. So are you, young people, always need to remember. You're the young son of the Heavenly Father, in a sense. Use the arrow, he's sharp, prepared. So he may prepare you fully capable to do anything. But he just hit you in the quiver for a while. Or for a long time, maybe. Until he said, there you go. That's this song is a sign for. That's difficult for us to understand. It's wrong contrary to our useful expectation and designs of future life. But a son learns obedience through the thing he yields to, or discipline under. Not my will, but thy will. That's a very tough one. Yeah. to give another illustration. This is maybe too advanced for your age, but think about this question, okay? So you have three things, all not bad. They're called the good, better, the best. And there's a bad, am I? Maybe worse. Worst. Who knows?
Worst.
Okay. So God wants to have the best, am I? You wanted the best, am I? So what's your worst enemy? In a sense.
Worst.
Worst enemy. You have a worst bad. You have a very bad. You have a bad. You have a good. You have better. Then you have best. What is the worst enemy for you to attain on to the best? Could enemy, okay?
Yeah.
Which one?
Better?
Yes. No, that's very difficult to think about it, right?
Yeah, because if you strive to just be better, you'll never be the best.
Yes, very good.
Just strive to be the
Yes,
best.
because
be the best.
the better is better than anyone else.
It's not better than best.
But it's not better than best. It's hard to give up that sense of advantage, sense of achievement, sense of endowment, right? It's just to give up the best. It's just, many people live their life, me being included. I'm not living my best. That's an art. Do you understand my point? So that's art. You can't do it yourself. God has to make it work. But the aspiration is always in the heart, not settled. Making sense to you? So I will never settle in my heart, in a sense, personally, if God has not used me to His purpose. I don't know what He used me for in particular, but I don't want to settle in any mode, any station, any situation of life. If God said, look, I'm going to have my assignment, my destiny, my best, right? Maybe to me, it's not the best, maybe. Against my idea of best is, right? So, it's like which girl to marry.
Yeah. Not better, best.
No, I want the best.
Mm.
And the best maybe not defined by me, it's defined by whom?
God.
By God. That's difficult now.
Yeah.
That's difficult. Let me give you an everyday example. I may choose a rich person, a knowledgeable person, a very well-established person in the world. Said, hey, can you be my teacher? Can you be my friend? Or can I teach you? Whatever, which is a made opportunity to me in that regard. But God said to me, give no other option. He just said, no, don't go that direction. Many times just withdraw. I don't know why. Not to emphasize my willingness or humility or anything. I just learned a little trick. When God say no, I say no. I don't calculate. I don't reason. But I'll make sure that if God said no, I will learn to say no.
Yep.
On the other side, He said yes to somebody more not important. Maybe a burdensome. Maybe there's no hope as before you for anything come out of that relationship.
Right.
But God said to stay. So what do? You stay.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of thing is almost the wrong contrary to our idea of how God arranged relationship into our life.
Yeah.
It's just enough. But that's often the time God does it.
Mm-hmm.
So what the process is for is to give us, to release from this attachment, this personal expectation, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're constantly led by the Lord, I don't think you won't even have to run into the problem of, you'll know what's the best because you're following who has the best for you.
You would think so. But it's a struggle all the time, sometimes. It can be. You know the best, but you don't want to do it sometimes, for me at least. We often think it's the best, I understand it's the best. But, the best may require cost you something. Cost you comfort, cost you whatever, so, yeah. That's why the statements like, my animals for His highest is such a very shocking statement. When I heard that statement, that's made that statement drive me crazy. Because I know I can't do it. For two reasons. One, I don't know what the animals look like.
Right.
I want an easy life. I don't want to be told what to do. I want options. Make sense to you? So to me in the beginning was robbery. Just said, oh, you must do this. No. Give me that option. Let me weigh it out. Should I give me that option? Ian says, the first response of the human being for me, I'm not a rebellious person. That's like I have my options. But this guy said, there's no second option. This is what it is. He's not punishing you. He's to tell you, this is the best. This is the better. You can choose.
Right.
It's not worse. You're not lost.
Yeah.
He's not going to punish you. He's not despise you. He still allow you, care about you, but he lay out this very clear.
Mm-hmm.
This is the better than the best. Which one you want? So it's very hard.
Yeah.
Because the better is always easier. Costs you less. I need to pray. We ramp it up here, so. I hope I don't add pressure to you, Elijah.
No,
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't overburden yourself either, but learn the way. And there's always a way. The key is to identify the way. God with us should not be in the wrestling game all the time. Our relationship with God is never calculation. If I do this, then that's for me. That's the wrong start.
Yep.
So we have to understand who God is. He really has our best in his heart. He may don't tell us. He may don't even reveal to us. Because we're incapable to believe it, even understand it.
Right.
So the key is to trust the person, not to trust the revelation of the person or the thing he will do for you.
Right.
Making sense to you? So that's difficult. But eventually the key is, do I believe the one allowed and care about me, the Almighty or knowledgeable one, had the best for me in his heart?
Yeah.
Or he has to show me, convince me this is the best, and I'm going to obey? Different approach, obedience, okay?
Yeah.
In the Western mind, when you are experiencing God, you will think, yeah, I'll obey if you show me this is the best.
Mm-hmm. And
God said, he will never do that to his dear ones. That's the mystical part of what it means to have faith and trust. He said, you know who I am. I build a testimony, build an experience with you, build a relationship with you. You should know who I am, and you should know and trust me, I have your best. Can you just simply hear and obey? Not uninformed, blind obedience, but build an intimate relationship, right? So, make sense to you? So, give you an example today. You turn to me for Chinese. You know I know Chinese, I keep over Chinese. That's naturally what's in your context. Make sense to you? Therefore, I begin to lay out the textbook. Whatever the way how I teach you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you bother to all kind of method, all kind of textbook out there, which is many teacher, many materials? Do you question me on the way how I teach you? Why not? You see, most students will do, right? That's because you know who I am. You know I
know your intentions.
My intention, exactly. You know I'm not going to deceive you or mislead you in the way I approach Chinese. Make it sense to you as a capacity and know how to get there step by step. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I have a lesser effect, but my involvement in your life in terms of this is not wasted efforts. Make it sense to you. you will get where you need to go, basically, in terms of learning Chinese. Making sense to you? So you don't use that, hey, explain to me what the method is. Explain to why you choose this material. Then explain to me what you're going to next. You're not trusting those kind of presentation from me, am I? You trust in me, dedicated to make every available opportunity for you to make a progress in Chinese learning. Make sense to you? And that's a similar way to learn God. Now, pray. Yeah.
Amen. Lord, I pray that I would trust in those that you put in my life. But as I do, Lord, to not question, Lord, the teachings that you have given me.
You should question. I'm not saying you blindlessly listen to the thing, don't evaluate, you know? So,
Question in the sense of doubt.
Oh, doubt, yeah.
Lord, that truly respect my elders, Lord, and respect those who you put in my life, Lord, to teach me and to guide me. Lord, I pray that I would continue to hear from you and to trust, Lord, in what you have for my life. Lord, though my own desires and aspirations, Lord, do swirl around me, that I pray that your will would be known to me and that I would follow that.
Amen.
So, Lord, I pray you bless it. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Our job is to let God, you know God, am I? So you can hear God yourself and receive counsel from God yourself. We do the same. Then naturally we'll be on the same page. Make sense to you? You know, so yeah. Let's wrap up here. It's so good to spend time with you this day, Elijah. Yes, so yeah.